Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be tackling something that looks a little intimidating at first glance. We've got a stack of Canara Bank financial reports here. These are their second quarter and half-year reports for this fiscal year, 2024, 2025.
Lots of numbers.
Yeah, a lot of numbers, but don't worry. You don't have to be a financial whiz to follow along because I've got I like to call him my resident finance guru here with me to help break it all down and explain what it all means.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to make these numbers sing.
Absolutely.
We're going to pull out the good stuff, the stuff that actually matters to you. And, we're going to figure out what's really going on with Canara Bank and what it could mean for your wallet.
That's right.
So the first thing that jumped out at me was Canara Bank's net profit growth. Meets up 11.31% year over year. That's got to be a good sign.
It's a great sign.
Right. But what does it actually mean for us?
Well, think of it this way. A bank's net profit is like their report card. It shows how well they're managing their money and making a profit. So Canara Bank's basically getting an A+ right now, which means they're in a strong position to keep growing and offering great services to their customers.
Okay, so they're making money, but how are they doing it? I see they've had positive growth across their global business, global deposits, and global advances. Is that like as impressive as it sounds?
It is. It really is. This consistent growth across, different areas suggests that Canara Bank has a really solid business model. They're firing on all cylinders. And you know what that means? They're less likely to be affected by any economic ups and downs.
So they're playing it smart.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed something interesting about their domestic deposits. The reports show a shift towards more term deposits and a slight decrease in CASA deposits. I have to admit, I always get those two mixed up. What are those?
Yeah, so let's break it down. Let's use an analogy you can relate to. Imagine you're saving for a vacation. Your CASA deposits are like the money you keep in your wallet. You can access it easily for everyday expenses. But term deposits are more like putting money aside in a vacation fund. You're locking it away for a specific period to earn a higher interest rate.
Okay, so more people are choosing to lock their money away for longer periods. Does that tell us anything about how people are feeling about the economy?
It could. This shift towards term deposits could indicate that people are feeling more confident about the future, and they're willing to kind of park their money for the long haul. It's a sign that they believe they'll get a good return on their investment.
Interesting. It's like we're getting a glimpse into people's minds a little bit.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something that caught my eye. Canara Bank has seen significant growth in what they call RAM and retail credit. In fact, their housing loans have gone up substantially year over year. So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a fantastic thing. Think of it this way. When people are taking out loans, especially for big purchases like houses, it means they're feeling good about their financial future. They're confident they can make those payments, and they're willing to invest in their dreams.
So it's not just good news for Canara Bank, it's good news for the whole housing market.
Exactly.
And the economy as a whole.
Yeah, this growth in housing loans suggests that people believe the economy is strong and property values will continue to rise.
Okay, that's encouraging.
Sure.
I did notice a bit of a contrast, though, in their lending trends. While infrastructure lending is up, their lending to NBFCs, those non-banking financial companies, it's down.
Right.
What's going on there?
Well, that's a sharp observation. You're seeing Canara Bank's strategy in action. The increase in infrastructure lending could be linked to government projects and initiatives designed to boost the economy. So they see that as a safe bet, like investing in a sturdy bridge. But they're being more cautious about NBFCs, which, have had some ups and downs in recent years.
So they're diversifying their investments?
Yeah, they're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Now let's talk about something that everyone cares about: risk. The reports talk about improvements in Canara Bank's asset quality. They mentioned reduced gross and net NPA percentages and an increased provision coverage ratio. I know these are important, but I always get a little confused by all the acronyms.
I hear you. Financial jargon can be a real headache.
It can.
But let me break it down for you. Think of it like this. You know how you have insurance for your car just in case something bad happens? Well, banks do the same thing with their loans. They set aside money. That's the provision coverage ratio, to cover potential losses from loans that might not be repaid.
So a higher provision coverage ratio means they're better prepared for those just-in-case scenarios.
Exactly. It's like having a bigger safety net. And the improvements in their gross and net NPA percentages show that they're getting better at managing those risky loans.
So basically, they're playing it safe making sure they can handle any bumps in the road.
Yeah.
That's reassuring. Now let's move on to something that really caught my attention. Their focus on ESG principles, environmental, social, and governance. It seems like they're not just focused on profits. They're trying to be a force for good in the world.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not just empty talk either. They're putting their money where their mouth is with some really specific initiatives. For example, they've been installing rooftop solar systems on their buildings to reduce their carbon footprint.
So they're going green?
They are.
What other ESG initiatives are they involved in?
Well, they're also promoting financial literacy programs in communities. Think of it as giving people the tools they need to build a solid financial future.
That's amazing. It's like they're investing in people as much as they're investing in profits.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed by that.
Yeah, me too. And you know what else is impressive? Their dedication to staying ahead of the curve in the digital world.
Oh, you mean all their new digital banking stuff? I was just getting
Yeah.
to that. One thing that really stood out to me was the integration of API banking with Tally software.
Now, that's something that could directly benefit you. Imagine this, you're a small business owner and you use Tally software to manage your finances. With this API integration, you can connect your Tally account directly to your Canara Bank account. No more manual entries, no more double checking. It's like magic.
Okay, that does sound pretty magical. I can see how that would save so much time and hassle.
Uh,
So they're making banking easier and more efficient for everyone.
that's the goal.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here. Strong business growth, focus on key lending sectors, improved asset quality, commitment to ESG, and a drive towards digital innovation. Sounds like they're doing everything right. But what does it all add up to when we look at their overall financial performance?
Well, we'll get to that in just a bit, but first I want to make sure you really understand what all these pieces mean for you.
Okay, sounds good. Let's take a closer look at those financial metrics.
Let's do it. So let's look at those key financial metrics that tell us just how healthy and stable a Canara Bank really is.
All right, yeah, let's decode this.
Okay, so first up, we have net profit. This is the bottom line, the profit they're making after all their expenses. And you'll be happy to know that their net profit is looking very healthy.
Okay, that's good. But what about all the other acronyms in these reports? CRAR, PCR. I'm getting lost in the alphabet soup again.
You know, right? But think of CRAR, that's capital adequacy ratio, as a bank stress test. It measures how well they can handle tough times, like, a sudden economic downturn. And Canara Bank passed with flying colors, so your money is safe and sound.
So it's like a financial safety net.
Exactly. Now, PCR provision coverage ratio, that's all about being prepared. Remember those just-in-case scenarios we talked about?
Yeah.
A high PCR means they've set aside enough money to cover potential losses from, bad loans.
So they're managing risk effectively.
Yes, they are.
Okay, good. Now, we were talking about their commitment to ESG earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm really impressed with how they're weaving sustainability into their operations.
Yeah, me too.
It's great to see them going beyond just like talking about sustainability. They're actually taking concrete steps to reduce their carbon footprint.
They are. They're not just jumping on the bandwagon. They're becoming leaders in sustainable banking.
Yeah, what about their social initiatives? They mentioned financial literacy programs. What are those all about?
Those are all about empowering people to take control of their finances. Through these programs, Canara Bank is providing financial education to help people understand things like budgeting, saving, investing, managing debt.
So they're not just providing financial services, they're equipping people with the knowledge and skills to make smart decisions.
That's awesome.
And it's not just about individuals, they're also supporting social causes and community development projects.
Wow, it's really inspiring to see a bank take such a holistic approach to social responsibility.
Yeah.
They're proving that you can be profitable while also making a positive impact.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about their reach. They have a massive network of branches across India. But they're also making waves in the digital space. It seems like they're everywhere.
You're right. They've got the best of both worlds, a strong physical presence and a cutting-edge digital platform. That extensive branch network allows them to reach customers in, every corner of the country, particularly in rural areas where access to financial services might be limited. But they're not resting on their laurels.
Oh, so they're not just relying on those traditional brick-and-mortar branches.
Exactly. They're embracing the digital revolution, investing in developing user-friendly online and mobile banking platforms.
So whether you prefer to visit a branch in person or manage your finances from your smartphone, they've got you covered.
Yeah, they're making banking seamless and hassle-free.
Now, I'm curious about their subsidiaries and associates. They have quite a diverse portfolio ranging from insurance to Asset management.
Right.
What's the story there?
Well, think of their subsidiaries as like specialized branches of the Canara Bank family, each one focusing on a specific area of expertise. For example, they have a life insurance company that helps people plan for their financial future and protect their loved ones, and they have an asset management company that helps people invest their money wisely.
So it's like a one-stop shop for all your financial needs.
Exactly. They've created a really comprehensive ecosystem of financial services.
It's like they've built a financial fortress,
That's a great analogy.
with each subsidiary adding another layer of strength.
Exactly. And all of these subsidiaries are contributing to Canara Bank's overall success.
Okay, so they're doing well now. But what about the future? They've shared some guidance for March 2025. Are they on track to meet their goals?
Well, from what we've seen so far, they're exceeding expectations in many areas. Their business is growing, their asset quality is improving, and they're ahead of schedule in achieving their targets for key metrics like net NPA and PCR.
That's fantastic. But are there any, potential challenges or roadblocks on the horizon?
Well, there are always challenges in the world of finance, right? Things like rising interest rates, inflationary pressures, and global economic uncertainty could impact their lending and borrowing costs.
Right.
But here's the thing. Canara Bank has a proven track record of resilience and adaptability.
So you're saying they're well equipped to navigate those choppy waters.
Exactly. They've faced challenges in the past and emerged stronger, and I'm confident they'll do the same in the future.
Sounds like they're in a great position to face whatever comes their way.
They are.
Okay, before we move on to their outlook,
Mm-hmm.
I want to circle back to their digital initiatives for a moment. It seems like they're making some really innovative moves in that space.
Oh, absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what they're doing?
Sure. Canara Bank is not just digitizing existing processes. They're using technology to create a more seamless and personalized banking experience.
Can you give us some specific examples?
Yeah. So one area where they're really shining is mobile banking. They've developed a really user-friendly mobile app that allows customers to manage their accounts, make payments, transfer funds, even invest, all from their smartphones.
So they're bringing the bank to your fingertips.
Exactly.
What other digital innovations are they pursuing?
Well, they're also investing heavily in API banking, which allows them to connect their systems with other platforms and services. Remember that integration with Tally software we talked about earlier? That's a great example of API banking in action.
So they're making banking more integrated and convenient for businesses and individuals alike.
That's right.
What about security? Are they doing anything to make sure that these digital platforms are safe and secure?
Absolutely. Cybersecurity is a top priority for them. They're constantly investing in the latest security technologies and protocols to protect customer data and prevent fraud. They're also educating customers about online safety and best practices to make sure that everyone can bank with confidence.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked a lot about their internal operations and strategies, but let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. How does their performance and these initiatives impact the Indian banking landscape and the overall economy?
That's a great question. Canara Bank is a major player in the Indian banking sector, and their actions have a ripple effect that extends far beyond their own balance sheet.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So remember how we talked about their focus on RAM lending, retail agriculture, and MSMEs? These sectors are the backbone of the Indian economy, employing millions of people and contributing significantly to the country's GDP. By providing access to credit and financial services to these sectors, Canara Bank is playing a vital role in fostering economic growth and job creation.
So they're not just making profits, they're empowering businesses and individuals to thrive.
Exactly. And their commitment to financial inclusion, particularly in rural areas, is helping to bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots, creating a more equitable and inclusive society.
And what about their focus on digital innovation?
Their digital transformation journey is setting a benchmark for other banks in the industry.
Wow.
By embracing technology and launching these innovative products and services, they're raising the bar for customer experience and operational efficiency.
So they're not just competing in the market, they're shaping the market itself.
They are.
And we can't forget about their commitment to ESG principles.
Yeah.
How is that influencing the banking industry and contributing to a more sustainable economy?
Their focus on ESG is sending a powerful message that responsible banking is not just good for the world, it's good for business.
Right.
They're proving that sustainability and profitability can go hand in hand.
It's like they're creating a ripple effect of positive change
Exactly.
throughout the entire banking industry.
They're demonstrating that it's possible to achieve financial success while also being mindful of our impact on the environment and society.
Okay, I think we've covered just about everything in this incredible deep dive into Canara Bank's world.
We've certainly explored a lot of ground.
From their financial performance to their strategic initiatives and their commitment to creating a more sustainable and inclusive future.
Yeah, we have.
Before we move on to our final takeaways, there's just one more thing I want to explore. Their digital transformation journey.
Ah, yes. This is where things get really exciting.
It is.
Canara Bank is embracing the digital revolution with gusto, and it's really transforming the way they do business.
Can you paint a picture for our listeners of what this digital transformation looks like?
Okay, imagine this. You're sitting at home, sipping your coffee, and you realize you need to transfer some money to your friend. Instead of rushing to the bank, you simply open Canara Bank's mobile app on your smartphone and make the transfer with a few taps.
It sounds so easy.
It is. That's the power of digital banking.
So they're making banking more convenient and accessible.
For everyone, exactly. And it goes beyond just basic transactions. They've developed a whole suite of digital tools and services that cater to a wide range of needs. For example, they have a digital lending platform that allows customers to apply for loans online without ever having to step foot in a branch.
Wow, that sounds like a game changer.
It is, especially for busy people who don't have time to stand in queues.
Right.
It's all about making banking fit seamlessly into your lifestyle. And they're not stopping there. They're constantly innovating and exploring new ways to leverage technology to enhance the customer experience.
So what other digital initiatives are on their radar?
Well, they're investing heavily in artificial intelligence and machine learning to personalize their services and offer tailored financial advice. They're also exploring the potential of blockchain technology to enhance security and transparency in their operations.
So they're not just keeping up with the latest trends, they're actively shaping the future of banking.
Exactly.
It's inspiring to see such a large, established institution embrace innovation with such enthusiasm.
I agree. They're not afraid to experiment and push the boundaries of what's possible.
And what does that mean for their customers?
It means a more convenient, efficient, and personalized banking experience.
That's fantastic.
They're constantly striving to make banking easier and more enjoyable for everyone.
And I have to say, their commitment to digital innovation is really paying off.
It is. They're attracting new customers, streamlining their operations, and positioning themselves as leaders in the digital banking space.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to bring it back to our listeners and talk about what all of this means for them.
That's a great point. We've explored a lot of fascinating details about Canara Bank, but how does it all connect to your personal financial journey?
Exactly. We've seen their impressive financial performance, their commitment to social responsibility, their innovative spirit. But what does it all mean for someone who's just trying to manage their money and plan for their future?
Well, for starters, it means you can bank with confidence knowing that your money is in good hands. Canara Bank is a stable, reliable institution with a proven track record of success.
So it's a sign of stability and trustworthiness.
Absolutely. You can rest assured that your hard-earned money is safe and secure.
Okay.
And beyond that, their focus on financial inclusion and customer centricity means that they're committed to making banking accessible and convenient for everyone.
So they're not just catering to the elite.
No, they're serving the needs of everyday people.
That's good to hear.
They're bridging the gap between traditional banking and the digital age, ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to participate in the financial system and achieve their financial goals.
It sounds like they're building a more inclusive and equitable financial world.
They're definitely moving in the right direction. And their commitment to ESG principles means that they're not just focused on profits, they're also mindful of their impact on the environment and society.
So they're making a conscious effort to be a force for good in the world.
They're walking the talk when it comes to sustainability and social responsibility.
I agree.
And that's something we can all feel good about.
Absolutely.
It's inspiring to see a financial institution prioritize ethics and values alongside profitability.
It is.
It's a reminder that banking is not just about numbers and transactions. It's about people, communities, and building a better future.
Well said. I think that's a perfect segue into our final thoughts.
Yes, let's tie it all together and leave our audience with some food for thought.
It's amazing how one bank's story can be so connected to the entire country's economic well-being.
Yeah, it really shows how interconnected we all are.
But before we wrap up, I want to shift our focus back to you, the listener. We've gone through all these details about Canara Bank, but why should you care? What's the takeaway for someone who's not a financial expert?
That's a great question. Even if you don't have a finance degree, understanding how a major bank like this is performing can give you valuable insights into the overall economic climate.
So it's like a glimpse into the financial health of the nation.
Exactly. Think of it like checking the economic weather forecast. Is it sunny skies or stormy weather ahead?
So if Canara Bank is doing well, it's a good sign for all of us.
Exactly. And remember, their focus on lending to those key sectors we talked about, agriculture, MSMEs, retail, those are the engines of the Indian economy,
Right.
employing millions of people. By supporting those sectors, they're contributing to job creation and economic growth.
It's a reminder that banking isn't just about numbers. It's about people's lives
It is.
and livelihoods.
And their commitment to financial inclusion, especially in rural areas, is helping to bridge that gap, between those who have access to financial services and those who don't.
And let's not forget their efforts to make banking more accessible through digital initiative.
Right. Those platforms are breaking down barriers, allowing people to manage their finances from anywhere.
So they're making it more convenient for everyone?
Exactly. And their commitment to ESG principles shows they're not just focused on profits, they're considering their impact on the planet and society as a whole.
So they're really trying to be a force for good.
They are. They're proving that you can be successful while also being a responsible corporate citizen.
Well said.
I think the key takeaway here is that Canara Bank's story is bigger than just one bank. It's a reflection of the Indian economy's potential, the power of innovation, and the importance of responsible business practices.
I love that. It gives us hope for the future.
It does.
Well, I think we've covered it all. We've explored their financial performance, their strategic initiatives, and their commitment to creating a better future.
We have. It's been a fascinating journey.
It has. I want to thank you for being such a fantastic guide. You really made these reports come alive.
Well, thank you. It was my pleasure. I always enjoy breaking down these topics and making them accessible.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Canara Bank's world.
Yes, thank you for listening.
We hope you found it informative. We encourage you to continue exploring this topic and check out their website for more information. But most importantly, stay curious.
Stay curious.
Keep asking questions, keep learning, and keep exploring. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a new fascinating topic. Until then, stay informed and stay engaged.